Hello everybody. Gosh, we are living in such a strange time right now, and I'm sure lots of you are feeling stressed or worried, and others perhaps enjoying relaxation. And so I wanted to share two of the things that I am so blessed to have that help me stay grounded and come back to center when things become stressful or worrying. One of which is nature, and sunshine of course is always helpful, and the other is these magnificent creatures who have 4 legs securely planted on the ground most of the time. So for those of you that are missing our times together, for friends and family and colleagues, I want to share an embodying meditation with you this morning where we'll incorporate listening to the sound of nature, the breathing of the horses, and we'll allow our bodies to relax into a space that's a little bit more expanded than perhaps we're used to. So my suggestion would be that you sit down or lie down, and yes, you are going to have to turn the volume on your phone, and you're going to have to be quiet for about 10 minutes, which I think is one of the biggest messages of this entire time that we're in, is we need to pause. So find somewhere comfortable. Perhaps you're sitting with your own horses, perhaps you're indoors on a couch, perhaps you can find a tree to lean against. Wherever it is, allow yourself to settle in a chair or on the ground, or find somewhere to lie down. And when I get to the most expanded place, and probably the most relaxed place in the video, if you want to stay there for longer, certainly press pause, and then when you're ready to come back, you can turn me on again, and I'll bring you back to the present moment. So, enough instructions. I would suggest closing your eyes. The video will continue to run, and we'll be mainly focusing on the horses and their breath and the silence around us. Sit, stand, and I'm going to close my eyes. And let's begin to feel the back of our body, whether we're leaning against a chair or a tree, or whether we're on the ground, or in a bed, or the floor. And I want you to allow everything that is within your body and around you and in your mind to be there. I don't want this to be an exercise of you controlling your breath or asking discomfort to leave. I want you to make space for it all to be here. The anxieties, the mind's stories, the body's tensions and discomforts. Just allow it to be present, and also allow the sense of the back of your body, and perhaps your hands, to be a sensation that you stay in contact with. And I want to think of the body unfurling from the inside out. When we allow the body to be the one that relaxes rather than being told to relax, we can find deeper places. So just noticing right now, noticing any worries, any tensions, noticing the fact that being still may not be comfortable at this moment. Just let it all be there. Allow the breath to be shallow perhaps, and short, and only entering the top part of your chest. And indeed, you may have already found a belly breath, a slower, deeper place. The mind may be taking you drifting away into stories about certain sensations in your body. Allow it to do that. It's what the mind does best, is tell stories. Begin to imagine that any of what we might consider discomfort is surrounded by many areas of the body that are actually feeling fairly relaxed. It may be that the edges of your body are beginning to feel as if they're softening and expanding. There may be a sense of your legs and pelvis deepening and softening. Or it may be your heart and chest and shoulders that are opening. And a big breath allows the diaphragm to soften. It could be that there's a soft warmth within your belly that can also take our attention from the stresses and the worries, not to remove them, but to include them. As we allow the inclusion, just bring your awareness to the edges of your body, where the skin meets the air. Where the physicality of our body meets the energy around us. You may sense a very strong physical boundary or membrane that helps you distinguish your physicalness from everything else. Or you may find that that softens, or there is no membrane. And as we just begin to bring our awareness to the air around us, for me there is a soft breeze on the skin of my hands. It may be the scent of a candle in the room. And on the video there is this sense of calm within the horses. A breathing, an absorbing of the sunshine as they deepen with us. Bring your awareness a little further from your body. There's no right amount of space to be able to stretch out to, so perhaps an inch is enough. Perhaps you want to expand out, as I am, to include the horses, or include the whole room that you're within. Perhaps you have a pet with you. Always remembering the physicality as we drift further and expand and allow the breath to soften. Wherever you like to anchor. Could be remembering the bones of your pelvis. Could be being aware of the breath within your ribs. Could be thinking of your spine or the whole back of your body. It's there, and there's an expanded sense of being connected to more. And allow yourself to breathe. If there are still tensions, allow them to be there. If the mind is still wandering, allow it to do so. And also notice the areas that perhaps have softened and deepened. Could be your jaw when your face begins to widen, almost a sense of melting. Could be a sense of your toes stretching and tingling as they expand within your shoes, or perhaps they're bare. And then I invite you, in your mind's eye, to stretch to a horizontal. Stretch beyond the room. Stretch beyond the horses and the trees. Imagining the edge of where you can see the hills, the sky, a lake perhaps, the sea, the skyline of a city's buildings, hills surrounding a town. Remembering the heaviness of your pelvis and the breath within your ribs as you allow yourself to stretch, to include the globe, the planet, thinking of the horizon and the curve of this great sphere that we are on, and the breath the planet is taking right now. And perhaps the smile she has on her face. The inclusion of our super pink moon and the planets. As the body relinquishes more tension and softens and the edges become blurred and the need to think becomes less, and our breath almost becomes insignificant, we realize we are being breathed. Perhaps you get the sense of the planet's breathing. The inhale and exhale. The pause. Allow yourself to stay here as long as your body wants to stay here. So much healing happens in this quiet, slow place. So much restoration and life force can be replenished. I am going to bring you back. You can put me on pause though, if you want to stay here. So I want you to begin to bring the planet's horizons, the planet's breath back towards you. Not sensing that you are diminishing back to simply being you, but you're bringing everything back with you. Back into the room, back into the edges of the body, perhaps. Bringing the awareness of the other beings around you closer. And finally, remembering the edges of your body and all that is within the body, the organs, the structures, the emotions, the thoughts. Which now includes the deep, long pause, which you can find at any moment when we allow ourselves to sit. Begin to move your hands and feet. And then open your eyes. Coming back into our physical presence with those surrounding us. Take a big breath. And thank you for being with me for one of my many rituals. As the horses come closer, Charlie is about to push the camera. We're done, he says. We're done. You're right, we are. Thank you. Bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day and feel that you can take this with you anywhere. Have it with you as a resource. And I'll probably do more, so if you want more with particular topics, certainly message me, text me, and we'll do this again.